Testing, 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 testing. Testing, testing. Hey Nick, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome.
Trying to double check that my audio is getting all the way through to my. Hold on a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna speak a little bit so I hear myself. I'm gonna speak a little bit so I hear myself. Yeah, it's coming through. I'm gonna speak a little bit so I hear myself. Yeah, it's coming through. I'm gonna speak a little bit so I hear myself. Nick, I can't remember if you're joining for part of the match or the whole match. You can join for however long you want. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I was just going to observe, but I guess if there aren't enough people, then
It's going to be very open. I mean, I'm going to. It's going to be basically like we can basically play both sides if we even wanted to. If we just we're just trying to experience the rules more than anything. Just we'll see how many folks are in. I want at least one player. If we get at least one player aside, and then you just want to observe and just kind of help with the rules a little bit, it's fine. Just kind of.
I think I got about 2 hours.
Yeah, that's about how long I want to keep it anyway. So.
Oh, good, yeah.
I see that. Are you Tunisgrad?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I'm curious. Oh, I did put colors on this stuff.
Yeah, I made myself gray, just in case there are a bunch of people that. Yeah.
That's fine. I guess I'll take Game Master. Yeah, I don't have anything hidden other than the fact that the sides are hidden. You probably want to position yourself, diagonally in a way that you're seeing the front unit of one of the sides, just so you can kind of experience it as you would as a player.
Oh, sure. So. I'll look. I'll look at blue.
Yeah. So if you want to get yourself if you want to watch the Blues perspective, that's how I'll primarily be describing things anyway, and then I'm just going to be flipping myself over to the other side as needed. Give folks a little time to join because everybody's. What have you been getting into gaming-wise? Yourself?
I do a lot of stuff, a lot of Kriegspiel stuff for the IKS.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm playing a few games with that. They're doing a Market Garden game that I'm an army commander for. So that's been pretty fun.
Yeah, is that how many? Wow, that's got to be a lot of. That's got to be a lot of foes. Yeah. How is that? I've never been in one of those larger ones. I know they did one for D-Day, right? Similarly, normally.
I was an umpire for that one. That one was.
How did that
100 players.
Wow, really? Like that was live or play by post?
No. It was play by post, yeah.
And then was it like play by post, but over just like a week's time or something, more limited in that regards?
It was actually 3.5 months.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Here's everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good, Lex, and I see Jack has joined too. I'm assuming it's. My garage door is right under me, so hopefully that didn't come through. Whatever. So my next question is, Lex, are you going to be joining the table, or do you want me to? I'm going to stream, I guess, this channel anyway. Jack, do you have Tabletop Simulator? You don't have to have it, but I'm just curious if you do.
I didn't plan on it, but we'll see where we're at with folks coming in. If you need an extra set of hands, then yeah, 100%. I'll hop in.
Yeah,
my schedule freed up tonight, so I can be around for the entire
even
thing.
if you I'd like people to just be able to. Go ahead, Jack.
Hey, can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yep.
You might. I don't know if you can boost.
Hold on.
I don't know if you can boost your volume it's about 20%, maybe 15%. It's very specific. Jack, are you going to need me to stream the Tabletop Simulator to the room for you? Are you there, Jack? I'll tell you what, let me go ahead and stream it and just see what happens here, because I got a lot going on at once here.
Yeah, sounds good. Do you have the or what is it, Steam Workshop? I only know Vassal, but I have TTS.
You don't need. All you need to do is join it, and it'll download.
Oh, wicked!
Yeah, you don't need to.
Okay, I'll hop in there right now then.
Just a little bit easier for you to see what's going on, and it'll give you. You can at least, even if you don't play for too much of it or whatever, you'll at least be able to get the perspective of the pieces a little bit probably better.
Okay, sounds good.
Let me put this live for Jack to watch.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, Jack.
Okay, cool. I was just.
Right now, I am streaming it to the room itself as well. So you should be able to click on my name if you don't.
I see it.
So my next question, Jack, is: do you have Tabletop Simulator or
no? Yeah, I do. I have to re-download it for this computer. I do have it.
If you want to directly interact with the unit pieces, you're gonna probably want to. Now, if you want to go ahead and maybe for now get that download going in the background, that's fine too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stream it here. We're gonna go real slow through, a turn at a time, just a step at a time. And even if y'all just want to join on the second turn, it's fine. Let me just set up. Just want to make sure everybody can at least see what I'm seeing. Can you confirm everybody's at least seeing what I'm talking about? Just want to make sure. Let's see. What is the pointer thing? Okay. Like if I do this, Nick, you can see where I'm pointing at, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that. All right. So this is Take That Street, a new game by the Fight Club UK, and by several authors there. There are Ed Farron is the primary author, And I don't know his specific relationship to the original. I'm sure he was involved probably in playtesting. The original was Take That Hill, of course, right? Which was a much simpler game than this, honestly. This game is very good. If you've ever had a chance to try or play a full game of Urban Operations by Nuts Publishing, it definitely has a similar feel to it, right? Just in general, but it is simpler. It's a little bit more approachable, I'd say, and it's a little bit easier to grasp the mechanics of quicker. Yet it still has a reasonable amount of detail. So we will jump in here. Scenario wise, this is representative. Maybe not exactly, but it is representing a British rifle platoon. Okay, 2020s British rifle platoon in particular. So you have, just so you can see here, these are teams, the whole platoon, of course. There are 2 platoon leaders represented by these 2-star leader elements here. You have a rifle element, marksman, medium machine gun per squad. Okay. There are 2 rifle elements with undergun launchers, right? So these are capable of short-range HE fires and smoke fires, right? So they can do some damage per se to IFVs or AFVs, and that's represented by the number on the right. This is their HE. This is their HE combat power. This is their firearm firepower on the left here, right? And each element, each unit marker basically shows its relative combat power. So here's a 3 for the marksman. The medium machine gun elements are 4s, obviously more powerful. Medium machine guns and heavy machine guns. Let me get that right. They have beaten zones, right? Hopefully, can you see my? You might not see my. I think the YouTube watchers later will see my rules, but a beaten zone, small arms fire, which fired a lot of rounds, create a beaten zone. An LMG creates a beaten zone of about 3 spaces. An MMG creates a beaten zone of 4 spaces. So if you're firing, let's just put an MMG out here real quick. So if you are here and you're firing 1, 2, 3, 4, if you're firing to this range, right, the rounds are still going to be capable of doing damage to any friendlies or enemies in this area. Does that make sense? The beaten path is basically a straight line from your element. Each space, quotation marks, is an area of this size. It's usually representative of 1 house unit, right, of the terrain that you're depicting. In certain urban situations, that will be much larger than others, right? If you're in more of a Eurocentric locale, let's just say the equivalent of Ukraine or otherwise, right? Then, I mean, this is about what we're representing here, right? So this is an urban area in Central Europe. We will call it that. I'm not going to use any funny country names like Denovia or anything, so or Tropia. But you can call it whatever you want. They still know who they are, blue and red. Baby. All right. So I think it's probably the best just to kind of jump in. If anybody connected on the tabletop wants to pick a side, at least if you want to just play a side for a turn or two, that's fine, or as much as you're available, that's fine. I'd rather have two thinking enemies on each other. The intention, the objective for blue is to get at least one element into this building here in the corner with the two trees behind it. Okay. If they can get an element into that building and hold it for at least one turn, then they'll win the objective points. Another element of this game is that you do have casualties, right? You do have casualties. There are two different levels, right? You are suppressed, or you get to a point where you're taken out, but you leave casualties. Okay. It's a very interesting element to the game, is that you actually, most scenarios are built around, of course, objectives, but one of your objectives, of course, is to bring everybody home. Yeah. So there's an element of that, of getting your casualties off map, hopefully and preferably towards where your friendlies are. And usually the scenario would be designed as such. Right? We'll kind of get into that as we start taking losses. The unfortunate reality of combat here. Let's see. As far as leaders go, as far as the specialization or the unique qualities of a leader, a leader is capable of. Let me get into my copy of the rules here, because I want to be okay. A leader is unique in that they can actually direct fire, right? So they can act as a motivator and / spotter for any unit under their command, and that basically just gives it +1 to the hit a hit modifier. Let's see, and it has to be against an already revealed enemy in line of sight. So as long as you're within line of sight of the unit that you're helping, and you are within line of sight of an already revealed unit, you can basically give them a bonus. Give me one moment, because I just have to shut my door in the room I'm in. Okay, give me one second. Okay, sorry about that. All right. So the other ability of a leader is they're responsible for off-map support as well. We're not using that in this demo, but that would be another kind of benefit of being the leader, if you will. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I got everything. They are also, at least as depicted in this game, they are the individuals that would operate a drone or an LM, which is loitering munition. Okay, and there may be some of those in this match. They may be hidden in the bags that I have in the corners, right? I kind of there's some fun toys that are in these bags, and we'll see them here in a little bit. Right at the beginning of each turn, we're going to roll to see if we pull any toys out of the bags. That's not necessarily part of the game itself. That's just how I've designed this demo. Okay. If you look here, you'll see a very specific description of the phases in a turn. Okay. It is an I go, you go. And as you can see, it's color coded, so it's easy to figure out who's going. In this scenario, blue will be going first. You have a movement phase where all eligible elements may move up to their max allowance according to terrain. Movement is done pretty simply. If you're going over open terrain, like, obviously let's just use streets as open terrain, right? any infantry element, which is all we have at least in the start here, can go up to 3 spaces in any direct direction, right? You do not go diagonally in this game. Okay, that's something to get used to. Okay. So in other words, if you want to go over here, you would go 1, 2, 3, right? If you wanted to enter this house, you would go obviously 1. It doesn't, because this is considered a cover terrain. Anything that has elements that would supply cover and or concealment, you automatically can only go one space. Okay. Let me make sure I'm saying this right. Give me 1 second. Just want to be absolutely sure. Where are you? Okay. Let me go down the list of the movement. All right. You can move up to 10 spaces if you are a drone or an LM. Okay. You can move up to 3 spaces if you're moving from an open space to an open space, which is what I just had demonstrated just then. You move 1 space only if you're moving into a building, like I just did, that is not occupied by another friendly. Moving upwards in a building costs 1, and you stop at that point. Moving into any space with an obstacle that affects the mobility type, it's 1. So in other words, if you're going into this covered area here, you're going into this wooded area, right? And the thing with movement, it's very simple. I mean, you're either going in the open and you can go up to 3, or if you have any obstacle, you're basically stopping at 1. There is an option for 2, and let me find that right here. You can move up to 2. Basically, you can move up to 2 spaces in any other consideration. Let me look at that. Moving into a building that's not occupied. Moving upwards into a building. Okay. I'm assuming that means I can go downwards twice. Moving into a space with an obstacle. Moving into any rubble. Okay. If we find ourselves calling out anything else, we'll use 2. But it's pretty much 3 and 1. Okay. Let me see something about vehicular. Just wanted to make sure. No, that's it. It's all up to 3. They kind of simplified vehicle movement. All right. Let us set up and go, because it's probably just kind of easier to tell you how to do it as we do it here. Who would like to play or at least place the red? Anybody willing to do that?
Yeah, I can take red.
All right. So if you want to rearrange red anywhere, not here. Hold on. Let me do a line. Pretty much this line right here, right? So any of these spaces that are this side of that line, does that make sense? Hopefully. You can go ahead and just start rearranging those and just thinking about it.
Sorry, Peter, can you show me those lines again?
Yeah, look at this. You see this sewer right here? Basically this whole line. Let me see if I can. Do you see my line that I'm pointing, that I'm stretching here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, there you go.
Okay,
so anywhere on that side of that line. And this, you can, hold on, let me go look for the stacking limit again, just to make sure I say this right. Stacking. You can stack up to 2 vehicles in a space or 6 infantry elements in a space. And you do not count enemy or civilian elements. So normally I would incorporate some civilian elements into this to make it more realistic. Just be aware that they do exist in the game, and they can either be in a kind of crazified state, or they can be riled up, right? So there's two different states.
Gotcha.
It's very interesting how they do it. As far as I can tell, let me double check the stack. If there doesn't mention stacking anything else, as far as I think the one thing I want to look at is if inside a building you can stack more than like 2, and I just wanted to verify that. Bear with me.
Peter, is there a range limit for the weapon systems?
It's more of a range of spotting. Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's the interesting thing about this, and I think that's a very unique element of MOIT, right? Of combat in urban terrain, right? So there is an automatic. There's two different things. Okay, there's auto spotting. If you have a clear line of sight down a road, you can actually see up to 10.
Okay.
So you got to watch out, which is pretty realistic, of course. So if you're crossing a road, watch out. Another thing to keep in mind is you can set a unit in Overwatch. Okay. So, for example, if I had a rifle element here and I was in Overwatch, so if I have, let's copy an Overwatch real quick. If this guy was on Overwatch, and you move across the street, boom, I get a shot. If I have a good line of sight. Other things that can stop the line of sight, of course, even are wreckage of APV, IFV, or a MBT, right? So that is another interesting thing about the game is that, you know, once a vehicle is destroyed, it stays there, it remains. That's similar to Urban Operations by Nuts Publishing, but it's a little simpler the way they do it. And it will block the line of sight for that grid area space. Nick, did you want to just kind of place the blue units?
I think someone else is already blue.
Oh
no, I guess not.
That they just had picked the blue spot. If you want to just pick a spot over on this.
Oh, yeah, sure.
By the way, I downloaded Tabletop.
There's. All right, hold on a second. I got Armageddon going on in my house. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
The server name and password for the server should be visible in one of the panels.
I apologize, but I do have to stop this. I got something going on in my household. Let me save this. And I apologize. I want you to go ahead and have a chance to finish setting that up. So if you don't mind just finishing setting up your elements, I'm going to save the game and I'm going to reschedule.
Not sure.
No worries. Hey, just quick question. Stacking limits in the buildings again?
Yeah, I was looking for that. I have to imagine there is, and I think 2 seems realistic.
Okay.
I'm going to go with that for now.
Sounds good.
My assumption is that, you know, we would allow up to 2 enemy as well, right? Just to kind of keep it. It just makes sense, right? Now, if you're on different floors, you could, you know, obviously increase it. I'm gonna.
Okay, I'm good to go to save
Okay,
whenever.
Yeah.
let me do that. Hold on a second. And I apologize. It's pretty. It's just I have some. It's pretty significant. I'll explain it sometime.
Gotcha. I think I'm good.
No, it's all good.
Let me save. Let me save game. Save point. All right, I'm good. I will reschedule it, and I think I've supplied all of you the rules. If I've not, ping me on the server, and I'll get you a copy of the rules, just so by the time we play it again, yeah, you can kind of bone up on it yourself too. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
good.
Sorry.
That's good. Thank you.
Thanks.